Live. Let me go ahead and just mute myself, make sure everything is working properly. Don't want this to be bad anything. So just doing a quick mic test, mic test. Cool. We rocking the pink shirt today. Oh, look, I don't care if it's pink. It's a very comfortable shirt. So you can judge me all you want. You can suck it. Anywho, we are about to have the Asia Open. Let me go ahead and edit. I can't speak. Let me go ahead and edit this. Yeah. Put that as Asia Open. Boom. Suck it. Anyways, um, yeah, today was rough. This morning, this price action this morning for New York really sucked. You talk about it drying out quick. It is bad. I feel like it was probably one of the worst days of price action that I've seen in a while. Normally you get 30 minutes of it, but after like it was just slow, even from the get go, from the open. And then we made new highs. Let's go to the 15-minute here. Matter of fact, let's go to the day. Literally new highs. Insane. Just crazy. The market only goes up. And of course, I was an idiot trying to short it. Right now, we're not open yet. We still have about another 3 minutes or so before the market is open. Maybe 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes now. Coming up 48, but right now, got this Asia session that is about to open. My VWAP is down here at 25, 209, 27. I say mine, but it's not mine. It's there. VWAP is not something that you manually place. It's just built. It is the volume weighted average profile. So whatever that means, right? I'm just kidding. It's exactly as it means. Okay. About to open up in 2 minutes here. Don't know how this session's gonna go. I think with how crappy the market has been, we're probably not gonna get much action. So I might just stick around for 30 minutes or so. If we don't get much, if we're not gonna get much movement, I probably am not gonna be streaming for that long. Now, one thing I do wish, I mean, if this ever happens, is the market is just super volatile 24/7. Like even okay, on the when it is open, it would be nice for it to be just volatile. You talk about like 20 points, just whip back and forth, just very quick. Like in 5 minutes, we're moving like 60, 100 points, which we had that briefly at the beginning of this year, and then everything kind of down. Kind of died down after that. So we're about to open up here in about 40 seconds. Yes, I am on my phone because the market is not open yet, and we might not even get that much movement. I haven't ate dinner yet, so we'll see how long this goes. 3, 2, 1. We're open! Wow, view up came up quick. It just snapped. We are at all-time highs. So the question is, are we going to continue going higher overnight? Or is the market going to pull back down? Now, whenever I do trade as well, I'm not going to use big words like displacement. You talk about this gap to the inverted minutia to the hypochondria of the sky minuteness, whatever. Guys, trading doesn't need to be that hard, okay? Of course, I think my Wi-Fi is kind of going crap out too. So if it's gonna go, my Wi-Fi has just been super spotty. It's been like really been trash. So if it's just trash and my stream at some point just shuts down, probably just gonna call it there, to be honest. So that was what? Open 40, so 10-point move. Not bad. Not the best either, but anyways, back to the topic. Trading doesn't need to be hard. A lot of people just really overanalyze the market, and it is very easy to do so. Now, very quick, 90% of day traders lose money trading. So trade at your own risk. This stream is for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. So anything you see me do not even copy my trades. Going back to the topic here, some people really just make this a lot more complex than it needs to be. Overanalyze the market. You're looking at every single little detail breaking down, trying to do something with trading. But in reality, all you're doing in trading is clicking, buying, and selling. And now, I know that I'm making it sound very simple, but really, at the end of the day, that is what you are doing. You just need to look. One thing, like how I trade, is you just need to look at the trend. And not even that, when it comes to trading, to be honest, people get so caught up in the strategies that it makes them want to be right. What do I mean by that? You get so caught up in your strategy that you're thinking, I need to be, this strategy is going to work. And the only reason why I'm placing this trade is not because I want to make money, it's because I want to be right. Hey, Astro! Oh, sorry. I just hit the crap. How's it going? But yeah, I mean, it's really just that simple. It's just looking off price action. Like, there's no right way, you know? Everybody has their own little niche, but the more you can simplify trading, the better it can be. And I've caught, I'm speaking to myself too, right? Speaking from my own experiences where I've just been so caught up at the beginning of like my trading, so caught up in strategy where it's like, dude, just throw all that off. And I have my 8 EMA here and my VWAP, but in reality, that's more, they're just kind of keep an eye on like price and where some levels are. But trading is just keep it simple and it'll help you move towards profitability. And I catch myself doing that sometimes where instead of just focusing on, being right, I'm just focused on making money. So many people get caught up in their strategies like, oh, it's got to be this way. It's got to be like this is the holy grail of trading. And people love to just hate on people for no reason at all. Yeah, exactly, right? Astro, I'm the same way. Like I just like to see this. Like I have ADMA and VWAP just to kind of tell where we're at. Like are we above or below it? But really, that's about it. I mean, hindsight, you could be like, oh, hey, look at this 8 EMA. Like, I'm bouncing off here. Like, let me just enter here. It wouldn't be bad either, but I guess what I'm just trying to say is some people think that their strategy is so perfect and there's no perfect strategy. At the end of the day, what matters the most in trading is just making money. And I think if a lot of traders just adopted that mindset of, hey, I'm just here to make money, it doesn't matter how much or how little you make. If you are making money and you're ending the day green, then that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're up $1, $2 now. Our ego and pride is going to tell us that hey, we need to be up higher. And you see somebody else out there that is making $10,000 a day, it can be very easy to fall into the trap of I need to make money. But what really just matters is just hey, as a day trader, we are just here to make money. We don't want to lose money. Now, we are going to lose money. It's just part of the process. But the thing is, how much of that money can we keep, and can we just keep making money day after day? I try. Oh no, so I'm really just a pullback trader, Astro. Like I just go with the trend, and I'll be honest, I'll even counter trend trade. The way I'm trading right now, I'm literally just going for small targets, small targets. So for example, right now, obviously we're in Asia session. Normally don't like taking trades during Asia session. Now I will take it on an evaluation account, but on my funded, not really. But for example, This is hindsight now, right? But how I would trade is look at the overall trend, 15 minutes. Obviously, we're going up. So what I would just look for is a pullback, wait for a little bit of consolidation. And sometimes I take a trade on the first pullback. But really, I'm just waiting for a pullback and waiting for consolidation. Enter at the lows. So for example, I'll place a trade. This is not an actual trade. Let me zoom in. What I would do is really just place my trades in here. My brackets not even set correctly. This is how I do it. Literally, and this is 10 points. What I would do is if this pullback, great, it's starting to consolidate a little bit, place my entry right there, wait for it to tag me in, have my stop loss be at a level that is like really low. If I get tagged out here, that means that my trade's invalid. And I would really just like to take 10 points. And from here, I've been really just kind of testing the water with like one or two contracts. But if I can just nail those 10 points every day, I can just scale up at this point now. And sometimes I will take bigger trades, right? That doesn't mean that I'm limited to this, but I'll take longer shots as well. My confirmation and golfing candles definitely are good. For me, I like to keep it simple. Once I see consolidation, I normally just place like I don't even. This is how I trade, right? My confirmation is hey consolidation. That's really it. If we're consolidating, that is my confirmation, and I really would just try to get as close to the bottom as possible. Now, I sometimes do I want a sniper entry? Yes. If I could just nail this bottom right here, if you follow my mouse, I would do it. But really, I'm okay if I have to sit through consolidation. I'll just place a trade, put my stop loss at a level that if it gets tagged out, would deem my trade invalid, and then I just let the market really do its thing. If it comes down, stops me, cool. If it goes up, cool, right? So that's just really how I trade. And now everybody's different, right? But that's just how I do it. I don't like to try to overanalyze because in the past I've just really just really overthought too much of it, and I was like, I need to back up a little bit and just take a deep breath and just know if the market is going to continue. If I think that the market's going to continue, all I can do is just place my trade there and manage it, right? And obviously, with stop losses, you're managing everything as well. I typically will let my stop loss get taken out. Like in the story, when I place a trade, if it's gonna stop me out, it's gonna stop me out. I normally don't like to touch it. I just leave it, and that's how I manage my trades. Yep. So the way I do it is right now I have 50-point stop loss and a 41 take profit. Now you're probably thinking, wow, you're not a 1-to-1, but for me, that's okay. I actually have gotten my take profit hit more than my stop loss, and I want to give myself just a little bit of breathing room. It is a negative R&R, but it's really so minimal because I'm just playing with one mini contract. Now, if I were trading 10, that would be a whole different story, right? But I'm just trading with one contract here. So if I take this loss, it's about $260, which that's okay. I could make that back in two trades. And I just think in terms of probability, like if I take two trades, it'll wipe out my one loss. Now, it is also the other way as well, right? If I take two losses and I take only one winner, it doesn't really wipe away. But for my entries, my take profit's usually so low that like I have a higher chance of getting my take profit hit than my stop loss. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm aiming for. Sometimes I do want to go for bigger profits as well, right? Which I've done that in the past, but for right now, I've kind of just shifted into a new mindset of I just want to build capital on my accounts. And the reason why I've shifted to this mindset instead of taking like 20, 30 points is just because I've really burned myself, but I'm not really, I've got to a point where I'm not really just chasing the money anymore. Like, I want to build my account and build a lot of cap on it so I could take a huge payout instead of pressuring myself to take a trade to make money. Because I think you've probably seen it, but my video where I made $1,000 a day, like for 1 week, like that, it was awesome. But it was a lot of pressure, unnecessary pressure that I put on myself to where every single trade I just thought I need to win, I need to win, and that really just overtook my mindset. It basically I put a blindfold on myself, and instead of seeing clearly, I would take trades that aren't there. So shifting back, kind of taking just a more of a slower approach. I would say a marathon approach to it, but really just taking my time trying to build my accounts, which I have two funded accounts right now. I have one account that is above the payout threshold. I could honestly take a $700 payout tonight, but I'm not. I really want to just build that account and get more funded accounts as well. So my second one, I blew it, reset it, but it's up at $200. So right now, I really just want to get as many accounts as I can above that payout and really max out and take a huge payout. And also for, you know, tax purposes, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, not really getting much. I probably should kill this trade because I just wanted to show that. I'm not going to actually take a trade there. Yeah, dude, 100% Astro. Stressful trading, it does not help. And some people can't do it. I'm just not that well acquainted yet with stressful trading. It just creates spots where like you see things that aren't there, which is dangerous. It's a very dangerous spot. And from there, only more things stem out of that. Like, greed, that's one thing. And a lot of these things like never go away as well. It's something you only learn to suppress and not do as much as you move on. But yeah, I mean, right now we're not really getting much movement here too. Actually, I take it back. It's not bad. We've moved 20 points in about 13 minutes for Asia. Well, that's not bad. What's the book called? Is it I know there's one like Turtle Soup or something, or is it Mark Douglas? Is that the guy I'm talking about? What book is it? Because I know that there have been a couple books that have been recommended. Like I see a lot of traders read it too as well. And I haven't picked up a book, I'll be honest, but I probably should pick up a trading book and just read more into the like psychology of it as well. Yeah, let me know, man. I always love good recommendation of books as well. I know it doesn't seem like it, right? But I do read books, okay? I can read. I I am not illiterate, okay? And well, I would say I'm fortunate enough to be able to afford to go and, be able to go to school. I know some people out there don't have that luxury, so never ever want to take it for granted. Put the 2 hour straight. You know what? Let me search that up. Nah, man, dude, don't worry about that, dude. I would rather you give me the full name than give me. Okay, I see it's on Amazon too, by Tommaso Cillian. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. MES. Love it, dude. And you can buy it for an online version. Even better. Now, but sometimes books, if I'm reading a book, I'm probably gonna get the actual copy of it. There's just a difference between having the actual copy of the book, like a physical copy. You, I'm old school. I'm not that old, but I like to carry the old school style of like having a paperback copy because it forces you to actually read and think instead of just looking at the screen. Car Camarilla pivot points. I've actually never heard of that before. What is? I'm looking at the synopsis of it too. In case you're wondering, like here it is. I have it pulled up on my other screen. Carmelo levels. I love it. I think anybody that can keep trading simple usually is where it's at. Carmelo level. Level. Oh, pivot points, not pivot. Camarilla. Okay. Anyways, that's enough talk about me. Astro, how's your trading been? You been killing it? Been a rough patch? Oh, okay. Three. Yeah, I think I actually use the same thing to the pivot points as well. I might actually have to get that book too. I guess a little bit similar. I forgot, but I do use pivot points as well, which these pivots are basically like just going off lows and whatnot. But dude, I love pivot points. It's not the end all be all, but it really gives you a general idea. Like, hey, we go from pivot sometimes to pivot. Because this morning we started here, and then we shot straight up to the pivot, right? So it's like, oh, trend is going up, pivot. All right, let me just join the trend. Wait a minute. So we made new highs. I'm really just curious to know if the market's going to continue going up. But we don't know, obviously, don't want to try to predict it. Hoping that this year has been pretty good. I will say that too for my trading. I have made more money than now. I've spent a lot of money too. I'm not gonna deny that. Okay, but this year has been the most that I've ever made trading, which is great. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Options are tough. I don't even know how to. I have a general idea of how to do options, but I really don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? I haven't ever executed options, but I think I would definitely love to do it to kind of get into options and kind of just like learn how to do it too. Because with options, well, I guess you have holds and stuff. So if you're day trading options, I guess it's different. But in the sense of like you making calls and puts, I think I would love to get into that because that's more so like a swing trader kind of mindset of like, hey, you know, I'm predicting that based on my judgment, the market's going to be at this level at this day, and then you just place an order and forget about it. Yeah, 100% agree. Risky, but the pay is definitely there. And I've seen like people make a killing off of it too, which is obviously if you want to make a lot of money, you gotta have money, but like you can really start small too. That's what I love about it is that you can just make a couple calls, start small, and then go bigger from there. That's where it's at. So would definitely get want to do that. Obviously, I have Robinhood on my phone. It's very basic, but I think that's really as long as you have a tool, give me a tool, I would learn. But maybe that's what I should do for next year. Get into that because I know other traders that live stream as well. A lot of them, not a lot of them, a couple of them are they do options and whatnot. Dang, 650 or $50? That's crazy, Astro. Now, when you say so, because I know they have expiration date, right? I'm assuming you bought like a short-term expiration date one, and obviously I am a noob, right? So feel free to correct me if I am wrong. But that's impressive. Made $650 on freaking $50, dude. That is a great return. Like I don't care. Anybody out there can say, "Oh, but he only made not, dude." Like that is freaking. That's like what? Let's do some math. expired in 3 days. So 650, was it 50? I don't know, 650 divided by 50. Like a 1300% return. Because 100, yeah, dude. Gosh, that's insane. That is good. See, that's great too. And that is awesome. In 3 days. And the good thing is, like, you don't really have to manage it either, right? I'm assuming, like, from what I understand, you put your put or call order, whatever, right? So you put a call on it. Wow, that sounds bad. So you placed a call order, and then you just waited for it to do its thing. I feel like that's the best way. Sometimes relating that to trading too, when I'm watching a screen, it can be very tempting to move stop losses up, and I will move my stop losses at break even at times to manage it, right? But that's besides the point. Sometimes when I place trades and I'm like moving, my stop losses get taken out. When I look back, I'm like, I should have just left the trade do its thing, you know? Ah, okay. But like in between, you're just waiting the 3 days, right? Like, are you managing it every day? Like let's say you place a trade today, for example, and then tomorrow you're looking at it again. Or am I wrong? Oh, the next day? Oh, dang. So dog. But that's still good. For next day, I mean, and that's money you'll have right there. And $50 for that, that's like buying a combine, except you get to see a quicker return. Dude, that's smart. That is a good way to do it. So you bought overnight, so it wasn't even 24 hours, dude. You basically just, it's like trading a session here, and you made that quickly. That's one thing I love about having your personal account is that you don't have to wait on anybody. You don't need to hit a certain level. You just gotta make money and then you can take it out. Now, obviously, there's a couple more things that I'm probably missing, right? Every single platform has their own little tweaks and whatnot, but being able to have your own personal account, not really being at the helm of, well, I guess not the helm, but being at the foot of someone's freaking work. How am I trying to say it? Whatever. You're not reporting to anybody, basically. But luckily, with the prop firm that I'm with, I mean, like I said, I can take your payout with them if I wanted to. PD2. Does the PDT, because are we thinking about the same calls? I guess it would be. So if you're making calls and whatnot, let's say like, not that we're talking about the same thing. If you're making the calls, I guess it applies to that as well. So you could, yeah, because I know that options has it. You have to have the 25,000 in your account to day trade, or you would be flagged as a PDT trader, right? Pattern day trader. And I think you're allowed up to three, but I wasn't sure if that was the case with like options too. But I guess, I mean, as long as you're making money, right? Uh, I didn't know that it applied to that aspect. I guess I didn't think that far ahead of like, oh, if you're like on the sides of not day trading options, but like making calls and whatnot, I guess it would apply for that too. Good to know. But I think definitely gonna do some research into that because, like I said, you know, sometimes a lot of my trades take profits would hit if I would have just left it. And if I would have just left it and like left and just come back to the results. But I got that book down as well, the Amazon book, 2 hours futures trader. Does that guy have a YouTube? Sounds like so familiar. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Swing options. Yeah, I think I know EMAs are back whenever I did my little stint before I came into features. I looked into that as well. EMAs. Oh, dang. But hey, the book is great. I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, I'm always trying to find. I'm not more so like a fantasy reader. It's like more so on personal growth and mindset, right? That's to me, those are the books that I would read, unless I just want to read a fantasy book. But other than that, I'm really just gonna be looking at mindset and growth books. Overall, let's look at the market now. Kind of come reeling it back here. So we made new highs. We're going up. The market's good. If I take a look at ES is kind of doing the same thing as well. Two are mirroring each other. I forgot to mention that I do look at ES as well. So I want to see that both pairs, ES and NASDAQ, are moving in congruency. Because if one's going up and one's going down, I'm kind of like, ooh. But yeah, either way, market's moving up. Looking like it's probably gonna break to the highs. And I don't want to chase either. If there's anything like I will not sometimes catch myself doing it, but like more than most of the time, I do not want to chase. Even if it goes up like 20 points, hey, well, it looks like I missed out. I guess I'll just have to wait on the next trade. Yeah, I wouldn't say. Well, I guess it is, right? That would be the correct technical time, right? Overpower each other, but from what I've noticed, now it's kind of funny. Okay, I guess I'll start, but right now I'll just speak currently. I feel like ES currently overpowers NASDAQ because sometimes ES would lead the way, but this morning was a little bit weird because NASDAQ actually led the way. NASDAQ was already like going up and ES was at a low, but definitely, sometimes I think one of like either or do overpower each other and they'll lead the way. But more than most of the time, I've noticed ES has been the leader. So that's why I look at too. If ES is making new lows, but we're making new highs on NASDAQ, like just throughout the day, I would be a little bit wary because I'm like, we're gonna go down, we're gonna go up, and kind of just wait for the two to meet together. Which sometimes sucks. Like sometimes, like both just moving completely different, right? It's pretty rare, but whenever they do move differently, I just try to trade what's in front of me and go from there. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing too, Astro, because ES is actually you know what? Let me just pull up. So I have ES pulled up here now. So ES is hanging out up here. This is a 3 minute and 5 minute chart over here, but yeah, I mean ES is kind of just chilling out here. So kind of just thinking out loud, you know, Nasdaq might want to fake out, and it doesn't have to happen, right? Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but anything could happen. If ES is gonna lag and Nasdaq breaks out, it might be a false breakout and just swipe because we're at all-time highs. So kind of mindset too is like how many orders, or if you're shorting here, somebody's definitely shorting at this level. Okay, guaranteed. I know that someone out there is, not me, someone is, and their stop is probably up here somewhere. So what does that mean? And thinking in terms of like liquidity and whatnot, bulls would probably swipe it take some orders, or whoever controls the market. I mean, they call it the market makers, whatever you want to say, right? It would just make sense for it to break out. Now that doesn't have to happen. It could break out and actually just move on up. But whenever we are at all-time highs, bulls normally are pretty aggressive for the most part. I'm gonna switch that back to NASDAQ here. Oh gosh. What the heck? Alright. Zoom in. Get that 5 minute back here. But yeah. We're not really getting much movement here either, so I don't know if I will be placing a trade. I mean, this is typical of Asia session, right? And with this evaluation that I'm trading right now, I'm actually past the amount of days required to pass it. So at this point, I just need to hit the profit target, and I'm $2,000 away. So I'm gonna be a little bit more conservative with this approach. Normally, I would just, to be honest, like full port it, right? Try to get to the profit target in 2 days, whatever, 2 days, so I can just make a quick little profit on the third day and pass it. But right now, I'm at $1,000 on it. I'm just gonna hang out. I really want to try to get more funded accounts. I want to get up to 5, max out the amount of funded accounts that I can have with this prop firm, and build on that. I do want to try to get some other prop firms, but I don't know. Like, other ones just really aren't enticing at this point. Yeah, that's the thing too, is we had some pretty good action. I mean, freaking, it's still, today's still Wednesday for me, at least where I'm at. And we're still in the same day with the New York session, and this is now the Asia. But question is, really, it's just like, we could really just chill here, right? It could just bounce in between levels. But with it being up here, are the bears going to be aggressive, or are the bulls going to be taking new highs overnight? And trading all-time highs is pretty tough too. You know, it seems like it's very simple. Just like, honestly, it is. Just buy, right? But it's like, where do you buy, right? For example, right here at the open, you're like, oh, well, we're just gonna go up. This pullback, it's going up. Let me just buy it, and then you would get smashed, right? And you're like, oh, well, you know what? It's going down. Let me wait for it to consolidate. Nope. Let me just go up. And this is like a slow grind too. This is not even a quick. So you're like, oh, and it was giving like false moves, and you're like, oh, let me short it. Nope. And I got burned shorting too. So speaking to myself, this EMA is the 8 EMA. So I used to have like a 21 EMA as well, but I just stuck this 8 EMA, and to be honest, I don't even use it. I could probably get rid of it, but for me, it looks pleasing to the eye. So that's why I just have it there. And honestly, it's not bad too. Probably with the power of hindsight, it could be like, oh, well, I could just take off rejection. Like, let me just buy up here. We're, rejecting off. But me, I kind of like, similar to you as well, Astro, I like to look at levels. So, like, this down here would technically be where the support is, where I would like to enter at. And then, place my stop loss somewhere below down here. 20. Let me pull that up. What's it called? Channels. Ah, okay. Let's put this bad boy on. Make it green. All right. So this is a 20 EMA right here. The neon green. But yeah, I mean, you got a couple bounces off of it too as well. The 20 EMA. Falling pretty good. 8 EMA is a little bit tighter, obviously, because it's a smaller tick frame, but no, you're right. I mean, I don't even know the right number. I know that it's 90 plus, but honestly, if we're talking about, sorry, just have to get something, but if you're talking about in terms of like losing money, and I'm talking like any amount. 100% of day traders lose money day trading. If we're being honest, right? If you want to be super technical, and we're talking about people that we're excluding profitability from the term, traders losing money. Everybody out there loses money. I think they should make it more finite. You could probably say like only like 1% of traders actually make money day trading, which would probably be a little bit more right. But I could probably put it up there. But I want to put. I mean, I probably should bump it up too because trading is tough. Yeah, like I don't know the actual stats. Like, what are the even stats? You know what? Let me. What is the percentage of traders who lose money? According to Google, around 70% to 95%. All right, so I guess that's not really a. Yeah, that's true. Yep, that is true too. Numbers don't discriminate at all. They don't care if you're, 1 day trader or 1 second. If you just even look at the market, you placed a trade, you made a lost $1, and you're like, you know what? I never ever want to trade again. Or if you got a stock market, whatever. Yeah, I'm really curious though. It's since you guys brought that up, like, what is the actual like? If we just cut it down to like people who have been trading for more, let's put it 5 years. Like people that have been trading for 5 years, what is the percentage that actually make money? Because I feel like the numbers would probably be a little bit higher. Yeah, agree, Astro. Also, there's a delay on my stream as well. I'm trying to get that down, but can't figure it out yet. So that's probably why my responses to you guys are delayed, if you're wondering. But I really just want to know because I feel like, like you guys have mentioned, the stack combines everybody. It doesn't matter if you're serious or not either. And sometimes that can be a little bit discouraging. Obviously, I don't recommend trading. I sound like a hypocrite. I do make money from day trading. I'm not a full-time day trader yet, but I've made, well over $30,000 this year day trading. And people that want to start day trading, I tell them no, because day trading is just tough. It's way different, and I know I've mentioned it like in a previous video too, but I don't want to say it's harder than having a business, but with day trading, the risk is just even higher because you can make money quick, but you can lose money even quicker than you made it. Versus having a business, obviously you're gonna lose money on the front end, right? But you have to deal like accumulation, getting customers, rejection. I'm not saying that it's not hard. Okay, I have a business too outside of day trading, but seeing this, it's literally you versus yourself in day trading. And anybody that wants to get into it, usually greed is the biggest thing. You can dig yourself a hole very quick, a very deep hole. With a business, sometimes you dig a hole deep, but like over time, you can kind of start to, get it back up. Yeah, that's Astro. That's the best way to put it, dude. That is correct. Read my mind, or you got it right. Businesses, that is true. You expect, like, you have those expectations of the expenses with a business. Like, hey, if you own a lawn care business, I gotta buy, weed eater. I gotta buy a mower. I gotta do blah blah blah. Buy the trailer. You gotta get a truck if you don't have a truck, right? And you can save on costs, but day trading, that is 100% true. It's so easy to make money that you think that you can just go on a high of making money every day, and we are all guilty of that. Nobody's perfect, right? I've been there myself as well. Of like, oh hey, I just need to win every day, and you don't expect to lose. Almost like the gambling mentality. And trading, like, it's so easy to trade as well, because you literally, even if you don't have that, I don't know if you watched I put a video out of trading on my phone, and you could literally make so much money just trading on your phone, and it's so easy to log into your account and just be like, I'm gonna click buy and I'm enter here, right? Yeah, risk management is the like one of the biggest component on trading as well. It's a lot. I would say it's not hard to manage risk, but it's just your mindset that gets everybody too, right? Like not being okay with the loss. That's really where it's at. Yeah, no, that's the best way to put it. Surviving every day, and sometimes it can be hard. Like I blew an account today, dude, being a moron because I got greedy. But it's in those moments. I'm getting better over time, right? Starting to control myself a little bit better as well. That's why I've kind of narrowed down my target as well. But risk management, it can be very tough. It's very easy to like the the thought of it itself is very easy. But when it comes to like being in the moment, it's a lot different, right? Because emotions are high. Man, you've just taken two losses in a row, and now you're pissed because, oh, like this trade should have worked out, or you got bottom ticked or top ticked. I can't tell you how many times I have been top ticked and bottom ticked today, and that will get anybody going because you were right. But here's the thing: is that you were right, but you were wrong at the same time, and the feeling of wanting to be right just takes over, and you're like, "Well, shoot, let me get it now, right?" Stop. And what are we looking at here? Looking at ES. Yeah, ES is not breaking new highs yet, so Astro, you might have been right with the call. If ES doesn't really hammer on up, NASDAQ might just grab some liquidity and dump back down. Now, we could be wrong, right? A trade that I took? Oh, I took plenty of trades. It is embarrassing. Let me see if my trades are still logged here. I lost the account, so it might not show up actually. How do I show that? I'm trying to get to where my trades are shown. Position, show fills. Let's go here. There we go. 8. My entry time frame, I enter off of the 3-minute chart. That's my bread and butter. That's what I've been trading off of. So the 3-minute is where I am trading off of. Where the heck is my entry? Okay, here we go. I'm ashamed, but let's take a look at it here. So these are just some of the couple trades that I took. Let's see. This one was a loss. This one was a break even. I don't remember what I took here, but I know that I took some money up here. I think right here I actually shorted this and took a quick profit. The price action was dying around here, so I had not good, but I was at 2 contracts, just really tight levels, and I made my money here. And then I called it good after that. But yeah, for now, I'm just scalping. And hindsight, everybody's a great trader. I should have just went long here, right? But for me, I was like, I just want to win. I just want to make money. And so far, I've just been making like $200 every day. I think that's a good level for me. So these are some of the trades I took. Definitely took too many trades. And what I is it over trading? Yes. But at the same time too, on the note of over trading, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, you over traded," but what if you're making money with every single trade? If you took 100 trades and you make money, is that over trading? You know what I mean? Yeah. See, like it's just very tough for me to enter on like engulfing candles, which I should, but right now currently where like I'm kind of sticking at as well is I'm really just sticking to like consolidations. Because I think I definitely took a buy order here. I think I can't remember, but that is true, Noe. That is true, and I will not deny that. A good point is, and the reason why I also took this many trades is because it's a clear indication that I was down money and I was trying to make money back. Because normally, if I make one good trade, I'm done for the day, and that's beautiful. But on days like this, like you can already tell, and I'm pretty sure it applies to other trades too. If you're trading this much, which I'm not down $85. I don't know why it shows that. Do not believe that. Don't know where that came from. Let's go here back to my other account. At 12 p.m. Oh yeah, around this time. This is, I mean, it was a tough level. I was looking at this actually, and I was thinking like, man, I should probably go long here. I remember seeing it clearly, which I was focused on doing something else, but I also didn't enter because I was like, man, like we broke through this support level, so my mindset was like, oh, I want to probably wait. And honestly, like this was the entry, look in hindsight, but in the heat of the moment, it can be tough at times. Yeah, could probably do that to be honest. And ADMA, I've been looking at it for a bit in the past. I'm like, it's kind of been respected, and I have taken, I think, sometime last week a trade off of it and it worked out, but I just need to build my confidence up with it. I think is where I need to get at. Because right now, since I don't really trade with the EMAs, I'm like, my confidence is not really as high as it should be, I guess, with it. Yeah, 8 is very tight. I could probably bump it up to higher. To be honest, even 2021 EMA, I know 21 is pretty, like, a lot of people use 21 EMA. It's pretty basic, but that's also where probably where I need to be. High on obviously higher time frames are always good. That's why I trade off the 33 minute. I used to have a 1 minute, but gosh, dude, I don't know. Like if you can trade the 1 minute, hats off to you. Like props to you for being able to trade a 1 minute chart because I can't. But I love it. One thing I love about the trading industry, it can be good or bad too, right? But it's like everybody just has so many ways to view, and there's so many opportunities to learn in trading. Sometimes it can be toxic, but I like it too. But just like this, like what is that's crazy. Like we're just high at highs, and I guess one thing I have noticed is that on Wednesdays, it typically like midway through the week for the New York session, typically has been more than most of the time just trending days. And look what today was, a trending day. Yeah, 1 minute is definitely stressful. Like in a fast like moving market, it's just like wick, 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 wick. So you have to really scalp in and out. And I could probably, nah, I used to do that and I got away from it. 3 minutes, just, it's like a sweet spot. Perfect. Not too long because 5 minutes sometimes doesn't give me the consolidation levels. 3 minutes really provides me with what I want to look at. Yeah. I mean, I would say I'm probably a fairly decent scalper. I say fairly. I'm not really decent. I'm just right there. You don't know. I appreciate. I definitely know what you mean, Noe. But I definitely always, dude. I always need more practice. I don't think anybody ever gets really, really good. Every day brings something new, and if you're not consistently practicing it, it's gonna be gone. But Astro, to answer your question on the 5 minute, it's just a little bit. I actually, whenever I first started trading, I did use the 5 minute, But as I kind of moved on, the 3 minutes started giving me better visual. That's like as far as like consolidation goes, right? Because I like to trade in like take my entries whenever we see consolidation and kind of just let my trades play out. So that's the way I like to do it. With the 5 minutes, sometimes we'll get moves like this, and it just like pulls back and not really consolidate because I want to see a couple like maybe red, green, red, right? A little bit more chop. But sometimes on the 5 minute, it just pulls back once and it shoots off. And I'm like, oh shoot, I was waiting for consolidation. And when I pivot to the 3 minute, I got a little bit more consolidation, right? So this 5 minute candle, I just lost it right here, whatever, is one candle. But on the 3 minute, it's like 2 to 3, depending on, the time frame. So I get a better visual. That's new. So like, oh, okay, hey, we're consolidating. Let me take that. On a high candle, yeah. So breakouts, yes. I have thought about it, but with the way I trade right now, it would just be like, okay, so for example, let's look at this, and this is just the way I trade. Breakout trades are not bad, but more than most of the time in the past, the reason why I've kind of stopped doing that is just because I've been burned so many times on false breakouts. And if I did enter that, I would really like realistically have to have my stop loss placed pretty low. And you can keep it tight, right? But for me, I like to give my trades enough room to breathe a little bit to where if the market does come back on me as soon as into the trade, it doesn't immediately stop me out and go up. Does that make sense for me? Save consolidation, then you get a doji, and a break of doji would be entry. That could be a way to do it. A doji, because I know. Actually, I think Patrick Whelan, everybody knows him, right? But like, I think that's his way of trading too. Because I know he trades up like that as well. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense, Astro. But yeah, no, on intuition trading, honestly, dude, that's a real thing. Intuition trading, like people can say whatever, but sometimes intuition trading it can be very real. You're like, man, like this doesn't feel right, and you let's say like, oh, let's go buy take a long here, but you're like, I don't feel it right, and it's a short, which you would have been, so far you'd be right. But back to what you were saying, Astro consolidation, you get doji. I'm just trying to understand a bit better. Doji. Oh yeah, I don't know. It's just tough. But the way I'm training right now is I think it works for me. So I'm sticking to that. But definitely it wouldn't hurt to practice that, right? Just got to get on my demo account or get on the demo account there and really just try it out. Because I think there's not one set strategy. I think everybody claims to have one strategy, but more than most of the time, I think everybody out there uses more than one, right? You have like obviously your A plus setups, which you want to be taking, but in reality, people out there they don't say it, but I know that they take like those C plus setups too for a quick scalp, and sometimes it ends up paying out. Like it ends up panning out for them. There we go. Actually, let's take a look at ES. So look at that. Yeah, Asher, you nailed it. You were saying it. ES did not break the highs. It's chilling, and Nasdaq broke above, and now it's not going to new highs. So I think until ES makes new highs, Nasdaq might not make new highs. Really interesting to see. Now, I think personally, counter chin trading is not the best all the time, but if this were like a New York Open and we were like afternoon, probably would be. I would have an appetite for short, but we're not getting much movement. If we enter here, this is what 62, so the 5 points. Now 5 points is It's not bad. If you're playing with higher contracts, yeah. But for Asia session, one contract, like stretch for $40. $40 is $40. Okay. But I'm like, risk to reward, not really good. Yep. The two ain't in sync. And I'm not really, I'll be honest with you guys, like, I'm not really, like, well versed in, like, the big words, like, you know, inversion and divergence. I'm gonna be honest, if you guys watch me, I'll just admit it. I'm a very basic day trader. I'm like, oh, the market's going up. This is a high. You know what? We're probably gonna fake out the high. Let me just short, right? Try not to collect too much. Yeah, market's definitely a slow market for Asia session. Now, if I wanted to put on a show, could I just full port? You know what? Go 6 contracts. I could, but we won't. We won't. It's the best way to put it, Noe. Momentum trader. Just go with the trend, and I will counter trend trade too. I will say that just for quick points, like do scalp. Yeah, and I could probably learn the lingo too, just so I sound smart, right? Because sometimes you're in a room or like you're around people that are using big words, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna sound really stupid if I just don't use these big words. Like, hey, like the market's you know going up, or like they use big words like oh trending to the inverse to everything. I'm like, man, I sound stupid if I open my mouth. Let me just be quiet, you know. At least that's me. That's how I feel sometimes. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just stay quiet. How do you trade, Noe? I think this is the first time seeing you here. I've seen Astro has been in here for a while, so kind of gotten to know Astro a little bit. But how do you trade yours, Noe? Oh, do 100% paralysis analysis, too many indicators? Oh, I 100% agree. I used to like, I think everybody starts out using many indicators, but that was me. I definitely started out using not like a where my whole screen was just plastered with indicators, but it had indicators. So for now, I'm just using VWAP and pivot just to really get a general idea of levels. ES is still hanging out. But I would say if you guys trade ES, hats off to you, because if you're trading ES right now during the Asia session, like I don't know how you're not pulling your hair out because it's just so slow. That's also why I move over here too. Hides and those. Hey, no, I think we're very similar. I do that too. Except I don't trade on the 1 minute. I do it 3 and just try to swim to use scalp. I think scalping sometimes is so underrated. A lot of people out there swear by like just holding trades. You can, that's true, but like scalping, dude, nobody ever went broke just taking like small wins every day. Like whether that's in trading or any other field in life, dude. If you just take small wins every day, you're good. Yeah, intraday scalping, it can't be no. Is YM? That's what? What? What is YM, dude? Oh, E mini down. Okay, I've actually never traded the YM. I started out trading ES, and then now I'm just trading NASDAQ because I like the way NASDAQ moves. I used to be like against volatility, but as I grew as a day trader, I started loving the volatility, like seeing the whip back and forth. I'm like, man, this is where it's at. MNQ. Oh, the micro NASDAQ? Yeah. Micro too. Micros are not bad. Definitely can make. Oh, here we go. What's going on, boys? Or let's see. Market's going up. ES is kind of approaching highs, but MQ is really good too. I think you guys remember a couple months back. I think it was like maybe midway through this year or at the beginning where we were just super volatile. Like it was like whipping back and forth. Like we're talking like in literally 1 minute we were moving 100 candles and it would just go up and down. That time, dude, it was that point. I was trading minis like a moron, which I should have been trading micros. At that point, so many people made money with micros. Down YM, okay, nice. But yeah, I mean, dude, micros are so nice in the sense of like it's so small, so you don't really think about like, oh, like it's small but powerful. Basically, you can add into positions and not really feel the stress because like it's a small position, but you can build up on it really, really good, which is honestly smart. And that's probably the approach that I should go if I wanted to, hold on to trades a bit longer. Because you've heard people say, oh, you know, you add to your losing trades. Why don't you add to your winning trades? For me, it's been pretty tough. Exactly. With micros, stress free. So if I put one micro in here, what right now I'd be down $2. I'm like, oh, well, it's just $2. I can have a 50-point stop loss or $50 stop loss, and it'd be like a freaking 100 point. Now I haven't traded in a while, so the math there probably isn't mathing. So don't hold that against me. I know I'm Asian, but I'm not good at math. Okay. Anyways, having a big stop loss and it's just like a lower risk is really, really peace of mind. We're going up higher. Yeah. ES still hasn't broken highs either. Well, I guess, yeah, no, if you, true, I guess depending on what you have your balance, but typically, I guess, I'm speaking from me, if I'm, okay, I guess it's just your risk tolerance. If you're okay with losing like $300 with micros, I mean, that's a big stop loss, which realistically, you shouldn't have that big of a stop loss on micros either way, because that's pretty big. Either way, I mean, we've been open for an hour and not really much has been happening. I don't think I will be taking a trade here. So definitely don't want to bore you guys because I know some of y'all are here to watch me place a trade, but there's not just much going on. Yeah, agreed, Noe. And there is no wrong trading style at all. The only wrong trading style is if you're losing money day after day and you're not making like any money. Right? But if you're making money, hey, I don't care how you're trading. I will always applaud you. Unless you hate me, then you know what? Maybe I don't want you to succeed. I'm just kidding. Yeah. But with the market down here, I'm probably gonna actually call the stream here. I haven't ate dinner yet, so I literally just got off the clock of work and I started streaming, so I'm gonna eat some dinner. But Astro, no, we appreciate the both of you tuning in. Try to I'm gonna try to stream a little bit more. Probably gonna be a couple Asia sessions just with how my schedule is. And normally, if I'm trading in New York, I try to not trade. I want to, but I just want to be stress free. But other than that, I'm calling here. Appreciate the both of you tuning in, keeping the chat alive. Having a keeping it going. But best of luck with you too. Trade tomorrow good, and yeah, don't make any dumb moves.